everyone, welcome back to Feelin Glide. This is our third video of the channel, and I would like to start on a really huge topic, sugar gliders diets. So, diet is a huge topic around the community, and a lot of people have a lot of different opinions about that. I definitely won't be able to cover everything in one single video, so this video should give you some very basic idea of their diets. First of all, why diet is so important. I talked about this in the introduction video a little bit, but didn't go too deep into that. So a healthy diet is very important for both the owner, you, and your gliders. A good healthy diet can help potentially improve the cracked or stained fur of your gliders, can also reduce the smell, and most importantly, making sure your gliders are getting everything they need, not only just to survive, but actually thrive. What's the difference, you may ask? It might be harder to think about that in a glider way, but let's just think about people. Most people can probably survive just by eating fried chicken for a whole week, right? It's definitely not gonna be healthy for you, but you're probably fine. But what if you eat that for 5 years, or 10 years, or 20 years? Are you still gonna be fine? Probably not. It's the same thing for gliders. Honestly though, if you're just feeding them apples, it's gonna be better than just feeding them fried chicken, since apple is comparatively healthier. However, if you're just feeding your gliders apples every day, it's essentially the same as just feeding yourself fried chicken every day. You're getting the same thing for a long time, which means that whatever apple don't have, your gliders will probably don't have it either. And it can cause a lot of different problems. That's why diet is very important, because not only make sure your gliders get the stuff to survive, to stay alive so they don't starve, but they actually make sure your glider get the right amount of nutrition of each kind every day, and thus make sure they live a healthier life. A good diet plan is all about ratio. As I said before, sugar gliders need a certain ratio of different type of nutritions, and too much of a certain type is bad for gliders, and too little of that certain nutrition is also bad for gliders. So, as the owners individually, it is really hard to keep track of what you're feeding your gliders and what they actually get from the diet. Following a good diet plan can save you the headache of keeping track of all of these and making sure your gliders are getting everything they need. Now that after you talk about how important diet plan is, let's actually talk about what diet plan is available. So I'm living in the United States, so most of the diet plan I'm listing here are the commonly used one in the United States. If you're from somewhere else in the world, it might be a little bit harder to find some of the ingredients. Just for clarification here, I'm not going to list the exact recipe of each diet, because it's way too much stuff to include in the video. Also, I'm going to put the link of each recipe down below, so you don't really need to look at me talking, you can just find it online. I'm going to more focus on the brief discussion of the diet after I've been trying a few different ones. Alright, the first diet I'm going to talk about is the OHPW diet. It stands for Original High Protein Wombaroo Diet, and this is the one I've been using for a few months, and personally, I love that. First of all, for this diet, most of the ingredients you can just get off Amazon, and most of the fruits and veggies you can just go to a local Walmart or grocery stores. There is one thing that it's harder to get, that is the high protein Wombaroo supplement powder. I will put the link down below in the description to tell you that's the website where I usually go there and buy it. It is imported from Australia and it's all natural ingredients for that. So that's that. This diet consists of two parts. One part is the mixture, and the other part's a salad. For the mixture part, I think you need eggs, raw honey, bee pollen, and high protein one brew supplement, and water, of course. For the salad, there are 5 salads you can choose from. So personally, I like that because usually you want to make this food. I make like 2 different type of salad and I switch it out every the other days so my gliders can get slightly a different variety. Um, the thing I also like about the salad is, well, making the salad, the recipe actually specify how much of each type of fruits and vegetables you want, so you know that the nutrition is actually well balanced. The second diet I'm going to talk about is the BML diet. BML stands for Bourbon Modified Elite Beaters diet, and a lot of people like this diet because you can get everything basically locally. Like you don't need to get anything from like, Australia, like the OHPW diet. I never tried this diet before, but I've looked at the recipe. I know most of the ingredients are like for baby food or juice, so they're pretty easy to find in grocery stores. The thing they use that might be harder to find is the reptile calciums or vitamin powders they call for. I think if you have like a PetSmart or Petco or some bigger pet shops around you, you should be able to find those without any problem. But if not, you can always just order it from Amazon. The thing for this diet is most everything you can find locally. However, this is a very strict diet. On top of the mixture you make, there is a list of vegetables you can feed with this diet, and there's also a list of fruits you can feed with this diet. There's also a specific list of the treats you can feed with the diet. So, in one word, this diet is very strict, and if you like to find everything locally, I think it's very good if you want to try this one. And before you try, though, please make sure you read the instructions of the diet. Make sure you follow it exactly. It has been a well lab tested diet and has been around for like almost 20 years, so it's a very reliable one. The third type of diet I'm going to talk about is called GOHPW diet. It stands for Reduced Sugar, Grain, High Protein One Brew diet. It's pretty similar to OHPW. I think the only difference is they use the green juice. Its actual recipe is going to be down below in the link, but they use the green juice to reduce part of the sugar. Um, Again, in this one, you also need the high protein one brew powder. The last type of diet I'm going to talk about in this video is called the TPG diet. It stands for the Pet Glider diet. In case you don't know, TPG is probably one of the biggest sugar glider breeders in United States. I'm not going to say if it's good or bad, like in terms of breeding sugar gliders, but their diet is also well used among a lot of owners. It has a few pros and cons about that diet though. I personally have used this diet for like maybe 3 or 4 months and then switched them over to OHPW. Here's my reasoning. So in TPG, they call for like 2 to 4 different variety of vegetables and then 2 to 4 different variety of fruits, and then other stuff are like stable, like a certain amount of protein. You can do eggs, chicken breast, or like this type of stuff. They also call for like dairy, which most of the time they recommend using yogurt. The thing I don't like about TPG diet is one thing, because there are so many different varieties of different fruits and vegetables you can put in there, there's no way that it can be tested. Like the diet I've been talking before this, like the OHPW, the BML, even the GOHPW, all of those have been lab tested and it has been like showing like it's well balanced diet. However, for TPG, there's no way you can test this because there are so many different varieties. Another thing about TPG you should probably know is that in the diet they call for their own vitamin slash calcium powder you need to add in there. This is only available on their official website, so it can be a little bit more expensive. And on the other side is no, TPG never released what exactly is in their vitamin slash calcium powder. So yeah, that's why I'm like, then how do you know this diet is well balanced? There have there are people giving out like explanations. Like most people don't count what exactly they eat every day, but if you eat healthily, you eat like a variety of stuff, so everything eventually balanced out. That's kind of the explanation they're giving out. So, like, let's say for this 2 weeks, if your glider eat pineapple and papaya for fruits, and like next 2 weeks you eat they eat apple and pears for fruits, eventually the nutrition should balance out. However, the problem for TPG is that because they never really give out a good like recommendation of fruits, or like they do give out what fruits gliders like to eat, but never give out a good like nutrition wise recommendation of what fruits or veggies you should feed your gliders. So personally, I think it's gonna be really hard trying to balancing that out. Yeah, that's also why I switched away from TPG to other actually lab tested diet. So, after I talk about these 4 different diets, I hope you have a better idea about what exactly you should be looking for your sugar gliders. Most important part would to feed them. Links to the recipes and to where I buy the high protein womb brew powder, the link will always be down below in the description. And always feel free to comment below about what do you want to see in the next video. And have fun feeling light. Here's my little Asami in there. Oh, look at the camera. There we go. Alright.